Believe it or not, we met at a youth meeting, 2012, and I was speaking at the time, and she walked in. It's like a movie scene, and then I baby.
No, I was hungover.
Yeah, she was hungover. That's just, that's say it as it is. Like, you know,
yeah.
Jesus saved you. You gotta put everything on the table. Just put it. Her brother, who's a good friend of mine, is one that actually invited her at the time. So we met there, and obviously everybody was on her case. There was a guy who's a friend of mine who thought he was in the lead. He actually did make mention saying, "Yo, I want to make this clear that this girl, you know, I'm the first one that's literally just throwing seed."
Can I tell the No, I need to. So for starters, he was preaching, and I was seated there. No, I was not smiling, and for one reason only. I was seated next to a very good friend of mine then, and another girl on the other side, and they kept on pinching me, saying, "Oh my God, have you seen that cute guy?" And I did not like that. I did not like him for the very evident fact that every girl that was sitting on each side of my side liked him. So I don't know. I was not smiling.
That part makes me
I
feel
think
nice.
he
I gotta
was
smile.
smiling.
Just let
He
it
was-
I'm smiling now. Gotta put it out there.
Then the same friend who happens to be my brother dragged me to this event that particular day because I was tired, and he thought I did it a
Just
day
say it as
out.
it is. You was high, baby.
No, I was hungover.
Yeah, she was hungover. That's just, that say it as it
Just,
is. Like, you know,
yeah.
Jesus saved you. You gotta put everything on the table. Just put it
No, I
out
was
there.
hungover.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
So it makes me feel nice because
No, I was very honest with him.
Sorry, my bad.
And that was the only year, let me just be clear, since this is going on camera, that is the only year that I partied and drank. And I started and stopped in 2012. But that particular day, I was hungover, and I hated being there. So I don't get why he says I was smiling, because I didn't want. Yeah, no, because I was very not interested in him, but I was interested in what he was saying. It's just him that I didn't see because I just wanted to go home.
And I went into, I got
the database?
I did what stalkers would do. Truth be told, I thought she was cute. I thought she was like really nice. So I got the database because we'd always get a database where you, whoever comes puts in their name and whatnot. But I didn't get the number, so I got her name and found her on Facebook. So Facebook's a good avenue. Just putting out there. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, found out. We started talking. You know, she remembered me obviously, so it was easier to, you know. I wasn't in a relationship just yet. You were in a relationship.
No, I was in a relationship.
Yeah, I wasn't in a relationship.
So
I
takes
just
me
came-
to the second part of us meeting. So he hated me. He stopped talking to me for a whole year.
Why?
Because apparently he wanted me, and I did not give him the same vibes. And I didn't know that this guy liked me. I kind of brother zoned him. Yeah. So he stopped talking to me. Yeah. He would pass by my workplace where he would ensure that I see him, and I see him ignoring me. And he would just, I would
and
call
I'll
out
make
his
sure I
name,
was
and he would,
looking like flames, not like flames.
yeah. And he'll just pass by like, I see you, see me, see you, but I see you, see me, ignoring you. So that's fine. And it went on until one day we hadn't spoken in a very long time, and he's walking past my gate and I'm driving out. Yeah? Imagine someone that ignores you, doesn't talk to you, and we're along this road that is quiet with no one but me and him standing right there. I asked him to get in the passenger seat.
Did you want to say damn car?
Yes.
She was about to say damn car.
In the damn
like she
car.
wanted to say the damn
Yeah.
car. She thought she was like, you know, the girl because she had like so many people that liked her, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be on the list. I'm in a class of my own. Like she should know. Hence the ignoring coming. So she should understand that I'm also not gonna bunch myself up in the line where every guy is gonna flourish and come to her and be like, you are the one and whatnot. So that's why I did. So I did do that. I would do it again if I had the opportunity to.
He got into the car. Then we started talking thereafter. Yeah, and everything else has to be censored, but because that's how we started talking.
That's how we started
We
talking. So
exchanged
well, yeah, we
numbers,
exchanged numbers.
After that, we predated, and because of where I had been, especially with my past relationships, and where he had been with breaking people's hearts, we went into a contract.
Everything
It was
from
detailed. How we'll share the birthdays, how our
to-
graduations
you
was
gotta
going to go,
how can-
pictures. Are we going to take pictures together? Who's going to know? Who isn't going to know?
Everything was stated in the contract.
If by any chance someone else comes into your life, how are you
gonna do it? Deal with it. If you like somebody else, how do you deal with it? Everything, like it's clearly stated. From
when was the contract going to come?
death, if in case of death, in case of sickness.
So we were going to get into a pre-relationship for a year. Then at some point we were going to get into an exclusive relationship.
Yeah.
Then when we were going to get married, and that's the only time the contract was going to be nullified, on marriage or death.
Yeah.
That's it. It was supposed to be for a year, but it only lasted for a month and a half. Because
now let me speak on that part as to why.
Okay, we're not going detail into the
men,
contract.
we are able to, hold our end of the bargain. Women on the other. Yeah, there was a mix up that happened, and then she's just like, you know what, you're not serious. Just tell me now. And I'm like, wait, hold up. We need to get back to that place where we understand whether this contract is real. Yeah, she told me off, and basically it's what then began to unfold into this most amazing
journey. Let me start. He's
Teacher,
a poet, so he's going
I'm
to
not, but
me.
I'm actually not gonna. I'm not gonna use my poetry skills. All I'm just gonna say is the moment she told me to check myself and know where I was after that, when she said, "I want you to know if you're serious," that's what made me know that okay, I love this girl, because the many things I had to adjust myself to in a short period of time made me listen, let him was an ear here. That moment, I promise you, that's what made me realize, because then I just said, okay, you know what, I really want to be with this person.
I was broken for starters, so I had been through quite a number of things and all those things, and I just didn't want men. So for someone to get to a point where they can convince me to say, okay, you know what, you need to be loved a certain way, it's just him not normalizing the norm that I had known. I was there, I'm like, okay, you know what? This feels different. And he loved me in a different kind of way when I was not ready to be loved.
Aww.
And he made it feel so comfortable for me. Okay. And I'd never experienced that. So he was, yeah.
That's one of my favorite stories, because I gotta sit up for this because it's very, very crazy. So we started first by the traditional, which I believe is very important when it comes to relationships, and many people don't see that, like, no, it kills the thingy and whatnot.
The element of surprise.
I promise you, some of the things I heard when we were taking plates and whatnot, I thanked God because of pastor friends who've done it before, saying, do this first. It's very respectful to the family. They don't see anything online. I know people hide. There's nobody you can hide. You don't really have to hide. Like, if it's something that you want to do, it's love. Let it be open. Now I'm going crazy because I need to find a ring. I need to do this. She's into these things for Fiamma rings, and she just
I'm a fan of love.
She knows.
So I was going
detail. Yeah. So it was quite it was quite interesting. So I went to the store. I went to Stearns. I got there, and it was on a Thursday. So they were like, so some of our friends work there. One of our very good friends works there. So she's like, she's been looking at rings and just said, okay, you know what? Let me just get this ring. I got it immediately. I was with my very good friend, my brother, and I look at him and I tell him I'm proposing tomorrow. He's like, what? I promise you, I was nervous. I can't. By the way, me and her are very honest with each other. So we tell each other everything. I can't keep that for 2 weeks or like a week. Like, that people that keep a ring, they even like look at it every day. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the time. We got out the store. I told him, I'm very serious. I'm proposing tomorrow. I went home. I got some stuff for decor. My aunt does decor, so I got some lights and whatnot. I got roses. I told him, call friends, whoever can make it, let them come. Whoever can't make it, peace in the Middle East. Now comes the part of getting her to the place. She's very mushy. You are a mushy girl.
Okay.
Mushy. No. So now we're sitting. So I told my friend, I'm like, I need you to call me and tell me that there's one of our friends is having a birthday dinner for his for his wife. Sorry, his wife, and you would like us to come. I'm gonna deny the first time. There comes, I'm like, oh, Jay called again, saying we should go for this thing. She's like, no, but let's go. So I'm like, but we don't have money. So I go, cool. Then Jay calls again. He's like, oh, by the way, my friend has said that, he's going to pay the bills on him. You guys just have to show up. But I denied. I said I don't feel like
in
it.
Sweatpants and a t-shirt, and says, I'm already seated, Yapa, and you've already started cooking, and the movie is about to start. Why should we have to go? Let's not go. And then I'm like, you know what? This person always comes to every event that you organize. It's going to look bad. And he says like, no.
Since you said it,
Be
let's
ready in
go.
20 minutes.
Ready in
Or
20
we're
minutes.
not going.
Margaret, let's go.
That
So,
was
yeah.
him.
Then she got ready, got into the car and whatnot. We started off. Our friend even called her. Yeah, you guys want to come for game night? We'll do game night at one of our friends' house. And I was like, you guys want to come? We're like, listen, we have something that's going on and whatnot. Maybe after, we don't know, but we'll probably get home. In my head, I'm just like, she's already there. And my friend came downstairs, like, oh, great. And we went upstairs and all our friends started coming out of nowhere because I told them to tell her something that I love about her. She walks down and she finds a room full of petals and lights and it's dark and I got on one knee. Some men think as if this part you have to like waste. Just go to a very perfect, nice restaurant, get something on the easy, find people, and it always works out. Really, that's the route I took. Just make it beautiful.
Saying I do.
Yes.
Both of you?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the most. That I genuinely, because I was trying to think, because it's like maybe it was the dancing. I love dancing, so I'm
It
like,
was I do.
but I was just like, just saying the vows and literally looking at your best friend and telling them,
And
except
the
we are
problem is
doing
we
this
were
right now.
smiling the entire time.
It was amazing.
It was
That's
amazing.
Yeah, it was those vows, man.
I know, right?
Actually, that is my favorite part. That's actually my favorite part.
It is.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of the dance. So I love to dance.
loves
So
to dance.
so I thought maybe like the
The
dancing
dancing
was,
part, no, it's like-
but it was actually that part.
If you could redo your
Not
wedding.
have the entire
Not
wedding.
have the entire wedding.
real?
Yep.
Yes. I promise you.
Yeah.
Would buy a dress, buy a suit, buy the rings, go to church, and go back home. Immediately you say I do, everything falls off.
Yeah,
You just want to
literally
go
go
home.
home and sleep. And we just wanted to go home
And we
sleep.
just wanted to go home.
And we went
be
home
married.
and slept after.
And we just went home and slept after.
Yes.
We just wanted to be married.
And we slept, man.
Family
Our
was-
marriage, their wedding. Let me just say this. I mean, I never say it enough. He shielded me from all the drama. He shielded me. He spoke out. He made sure that at least the percentage was higher of what it is that I wanted out of the wedding. So he made things happen. He was the man, put his foot down, got into a lot of arguments.
Not a lot.
A lot of
I was ever a meeting where we just sat and smiled. And listen, if you're getting married, there's no meeting where you're just going to sit and smile all the time. Or
And
infringe
families
on
have,
people's
have organized
this
quite a number of
weddings, so
and
they
whatnot.
believe they've got the experience, they've got the
Experience,
CV. You know, we've hosted 52 weddings. This and that ain't our business. That's your business. As a man, you must be, you are on your wife's side. You're not on your family side. But also, there's a thin line between you balancing both families and your wife. That's where the maturity comes in, because you also have to, as much as possible, as much as you're on your wife's side, you want to make sure that families don't have also that grudge against your wife. But when they see a man, but families will always see this, by the way, when they see a man take his place in his the family is about to take up, stand his ground, and also make them understand why he's standing there. Because some people just say, I don't want this, because my wife said so. You don't go that direction.
I see, yeah.
You wanna be very mature. Say, okay, you know what, this is what we were planning. These are you wanna see that thin line. Can I say my new voice?
No,
Yeah, they're
Mills.
shining. Okay, let me say the first one. So listen, don't trust people when they say they're gonna help you. It's a lie.
Keep out of the pledges.
Keep out of the place. Whatever you do,
News.
don't do it. There were some people that would say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but we still at the back of our minds, we're like,
Yeah. So we put a
yeah,
plan.
we put a plan either way to shield if it doesn't work. But don't trust them.
And
It's a lie.
also,
They are liars.
what's your second tip?
Deceivers.
Mills,
Sent from the pit of hell.
no.
I feel like the guy
What's
here.
your second tip?
What was the question again? I feel like I've got more to say on that. Don't trust them.
Meals. Second tip.
Especially those aunties that are speaking a lot in the meeting. They are liars. Second tip is stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't, if you can't manage it, say it out loud, you can't do it. Do what you can manage. Work within your budget. I beseech you by the mercies of the Lord. work within your budget. It will help you out not to have debt, not to be to get after you start thinking how you're gonna pay this and how you're gonna pay that.
So for me, the first step is you and your partner. It's you and your partner against the world. That's it.
No.
Once you get that into your head, nothing, no one, not the bills, not the people, no one can break you apart, because that planning time will test you, and I mean it will test you.
Oh, it will test you.
It will test you.
Oh, it'll flame you.
We are happy people. We actually do look it. We sound like it. We were very happy our entire relationship, and of course with a bit of hitches every so often, but we were very happy. But that time, it tastes you. It gets you on your last
Listen to
nerve.
me. If you don't pray, begin to pray now.
The problem is your partner will test you, your family will test
yeah,
you,
your
the money will
friends,
test you,
your
your friends will
friends.
test you, everything around you will test
Yeah.
you. But when you understand that you're not going up against the world, but it's you two against the world, because the first thing that needs to be in place is you two.
Yes, yes.
Then everything else will fall into place. Second tip, I'll re-emphasize on work within your budget. That means don't work with pledges. People that came through for us are not the people that we know. Most,
That's
okay, let me
actually
say
true, yeah.
most.
Yeah.
We used to receive messages, bank alerts, and all that from people that you don't expect the money from.
Yeah.
It did fall into place, but the money came from people that we didn't expect. So work within your budget. Lusaka has beautiful weddings. It has big glamorous weddings, and you feel challenged because you want to almost be in the same ring and whatnot, but everyone has different budgets. You don't know where they're coming from, you don't know how long they've saved up. We had 5 months to save for a wedding, so if you want to compete with someone who's been saving for 2 years, you break your bank on another person's bank and borrow too much. But if you can do a big wedding, do a big wedding.
Do it if you've got
But
the money.
if you've
Hey!
got the money,
If you've got the money, do what you gotta
do
do.
a big wedding.
But if
it
you
only
don't-
happens once.
Yeah.
But if you don't, also do a
Yeah.
small wedding.
Yeah.
No, it's how this one folds their clothes
Yeah,
and how this
I've
one.
heard about
Yes,
that.
Yeah.
it's how. Do you really want to leave the shoes there?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's this.
And I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
couple. When I get home, I'm gonna throw my stuff every. Like, listen, I don't know if it's a but for me, I don't know. It's just comfortable to just leave the shoes right
So
there, and she's
so
just like,
this is the type of person he is. He's a clean person, but he's not neat. Yeah, and I'm both clean and neat. So you find someone who likes a clean space but is not very neat. Yeah. So in the end, it does work out. Hence the counseling and all the preps that
Oh,
you
yeah,
go through.
yeah,
You
very
need
important
those
as well,
things
yeah.
because then these are people that have been married before, and they'll tell you how marriage is. So now you just have to experience it and adjust, like he's been saying.
there's a thing that we do actually. Would recommend it to relationships is if there's something that I have done, she sits me down. I don't have to reply. I am not allowed to reply. She's allowed to vent at me. If there's something that she's able to tell me off. I'm not supposed to defend myself. That's it. After a conversation is done, it's really genuinely helped us because then because sometimes answering, we answer to defend. We don't answer to solve the issue. It's just no, but you don't understand the reason why I didn't call is because no. Listen, someone is saying you didn't call. At the end of the day is you didn't call. Whether you are upset with me, whether the point here is you didn't call. So sitting down and just really hearing your partner out is very important. Let them vent. Let them tell you what you're not doing right, and let them also tell you how you can do it better.
And whatnot, but we've still probably have had like a few hiccups here and there and whatnot, but it's still continued. It's the same way we resolved, and now that we're a bit more mature because of the counseling that we went through and all those things. There's one book I would recommend to wives called The Fascinating Secrets for Women. So it has all these stimulating secrets on how to awaken the woman in you, especially as a wife or as a partner and all those things. So it puts you in a place where you understand that when I'm at work, I'm there as an employee, but when I'm home, I'm a wife. So it helps you adjust to be around your husband and all those things. So I surround myself with a lot of women that are very alive to romance in their relationships. Then you share as wives, okay, so what would you do better and all those things. So and just find
You do?
you go to good sources where you can find nice outfits. I'll just put it out there. Get your t-shirts out.
If you
of
ain't
the-
married, don't do this at home. Because I'm just telling you, it's not
Yeah.
outfits.
Please do not wear PF t-shirts or HH t-shirts in your bedroom.
You are not supposed to make
Okay.
mention of that, baby.
Yeah, I said both parties. So get them out
wow.
of the bedroom. They don't belong there. And also, read about new things. And also, read your partner. Your partner will always subliminally tell you what it is that they're looking for and all that. They'll put out a hint saying, "Oh, I saw this. Oh, by the way, I was watching this, and this is what and whatnot." So it's not like they're telling you that they're not doing it. They're just trying to alarm you, saying, "I would actually want to see this. I would actually want to do this with you," and all those things. So always pay attention to what your partner is saying and whatnot. So it always keeps it alive. And also, romance is so much more than
Sexual activities.
sexual activities, like on the sexual side, but even being playful and just communication and simple things like can we relive our memories, and also having room for making new memories. Yeah, for me it's just the exciting part, and I could go on and on, but we should do another
I
video
ain't
for
saying
that, and
no.
I will tell you about being a wife and
One of the misconceptions that men have is they think when you get married is your wife always has to be the one who is romantic, that you miss the point. As women want that. Women, like I said, my wife is mushy. She wants the sweet things. Sometimes she wants flowers or roses or something to just, get you on the way. You can, as a man, you can always, when you know your wife, it's easier for you to get the little things that she likes. My wife loves cuddling. That's romantic for her. She just wants to touch you, not in your sexual, but she just wants you. That's her. You get what I mean? So I know what my wife loves pastry. I want to get to her. I want to just get some moushu, buy a cake. You win. You get what I mean? So it's finding the little things as a man, knowing what your wife likes, and you beginning to do them. Obviously, you think as if, like you said, once you become creative, you check out with your friends. How do you do this? How do you do that? But don't copy what your friend is doing. Do what your wife would want you to do.
Tailor it.
I've seen some people take their wives to South Africa and they come back and they are sad, like life has. You get what I mean, right? She'd find out what she wants. For her, maybe what she just really wants is just to be with you, because men generally don't know how to be with their women. They really don't know. So for them, thinking as if just going out for dinner, sometimes they think as if they're being. She doesn't want that. Sometimes she wants you to talk to her. That's romantic. Telling her how you feel and what. I'm a clown. My wife loves me being a clown, but sometimes she just wants a stimulating conversation. She wants to, so you have to be ready for that. That's romantic for her. That she wants you to argue back and forth. You are thinking that someone will come into the house and they think as if you're fighting, but for her, it's romantic. She's gonna go back and be like, "Listen, you won't believe. I want the because she understands that's
not
my
an
partner.
argument. It's an intelligent
conversation. So it's knowing those little things. So, and also when you're going to, obviously I can't speak of the bedside, come to me personally, but you have to be a man that's ready to go the extra mile. You better get some things
okay. That's
done for you to make sure that you is in the stigen of life. You can't just be a boring husband. You have to always make sure that you also ask. Find out from your wife, babe, what do you want? She will tell you and do it.
tell you there's anything else that we've laid as a foundation other than God, I would lie to you. My personal relationship with God was a bit shaky, and I'll be very honest with you, when I met him and all that. And for him, he's always been solid. He's always been solid, yeah? So we needed to get to a point where, or he needed me to get to a point where I didn't know Jesus because of him, as per se, yeah? Like, I knew God for myself. So, there's certain statements that he made in the beginning where he told me, saying, even if you and I were to break up, I need you to still stand. He needed me to get to a point where it was my Jesus, my God, and it helped me through so much of our trials that we went through and whatnot, because we were able to stand firm, even in the little bumps that we went through and all that. I can still go back to God and say, fix my person for me, not for this relationship, but for him. I need him to be whole so that this relationship could function properly and all that. And it's spelt into our marriage, because as long as I know that he is fine, his relationship with his God is fine, I know that he can take better care of me and our marriage. Maybe just one thing to add on is, look at where your person is coming from. I'm a proud Pentecostal. He's also a Pentecostal and whatnot. So we can agree on certain things. Yeah, it's also a bit difficult maybe. And I'll say this: it doesn't apply to everyone. It might be a bit difficult if you're coming from two denominations. Yeah, because then you believe in different things. It becomes easier because even in the line of different spheres that we exist, spirituality always comes first before work, before love and everything. So you have to agree on a spiritual level. He made it very comfortable for me, saying, okay, you know what, we acknowledge the fact that you're broken, but let us not be comfortable in your brokenness, let us fix it. So what's our way forward? So, and he allowed me to get out of that, holding my hand, but also giving me time to breathe at my own pace and all those things. So, and I think one other thing is he laid it down for me. He was very blunt. Like, look, there's this nonsense, I'll call it nonsense, there's this nonsense that you've been used to and whatnot, but this is where it stops, this is where it runs out and all that. You have this mentality as a woman, and this is how you should deal with your relationships, but this relationship is different. So leave it where it needs to be, but also I'll allow you to transition at your own pace and all that, but just ensure that when you're done, you leave it where you are, and it doesn't come into our relationship. So it's a personal decision for starters. If you don't want to change, your partner will sound like they're nagging you.
I get you.
Yeah. Whatever your parents, whatever you saw your parents going through, maybe if you ever been in a house where there was divorce, or your mother or your father weren't treated right, or anything like that and whatnot, you need to understand that those are things that they went through, but it doesn't have to happen to you, and you have to allow yourself to be loved and loved right, especially when you find someone that wants to love you.
We were very open as to how we wanted to run our lives even when we got married. It was that's why I feel like us gelling everything and our finances in marriage has been so easy, because it started from our relationship. Number one, being open with your relationship. Whatever income, whatever money that comes in. I know, please, it's not for everybody, by the way. For us, it's this, because some people, get into trouble because we're like, no, but we heard you guys do it. It worked for us. It might not work for you. Find what works for you. Yeah. For us, what we did was we were just very open. Listen, at the time, she was working. By the time we were, before the time we started, I was finishing my university. She was doing school and working at the same time. So you can believe who had more finances. She had more finances at the time. She never belittled me. She never made me feel like I'm the. Every time she actually got paid, that's where she started. I think she started. She's like, she's like, oh, we've gotten paid. That's where it started from. We have. And for me, by the way, I'm a man. We haven't gotten paid. In the beginning, first of all, it was very uncomfortable. I didn't like the fact that I was in fourth year, by the way. I'm in fourth year, second semester. I'm just like, I can't do this. This girl is driving. She's working, she's got a job and she's getting money. I remember I started feeling as if, okay, you know what, maybe I needed time, or maybe this won't work and whatnot. This, I don't know if you remember this. Actually, my older brother is one that sat me down. This is what he told me. He told me, this girl is not in your life because of where you are now. She's in your life because she knows where you are going to be. I promise you, I know maybe people have heard of these people, but for me, that delivered me. Everything we did always comes to the table. We call it the table. It comes to the table.
It always comes to
Whether at the time, there was a time where, remember, you were getting more money than I was getting. It switched, It was so funny the way it switched, like overnight. I started getting more money.
Yeah.
It switches over, and then when you begin to think about it, is if I performed, I would have lost something beautiful. Or she'll be like, if I did that, I would have now been. You are a team. Stop this comparison. If your husband brings 2.5 to the table, I know people will say, hey, it's the husband that does this. Hey, like we said, do what works for you. For us, we've got a table. Obviously, there's certain things where I have to take care of, obviously. But there are when money comes in, especially even in a marriage, bring it to the table. There's no need for you to hide your money. There's no need for you to be ashamed of your money. You bring it to the table, and you know how to work it.
If you know that you have a certain weakness, yeah, people that love to go out, people that love to shop, that people that just love to travel and all those things. So if you know that those are your weaknesses in your marriage and all those things, put them on the table. Hence the table.
Yeah.
Tell them,
This
honey,
is
for me, I like to travel twice a year. How are we going to cut off for our these traveling expenses and all those things? They have to be cutted for. Not that you have to go and find another side hustle so you can encompass your weaknesses. No,
it's
just
very
put them on the
disrespectful
table. It
for
is
you
actually.
to get a side hustle. Like if I found out that my wife has got a side hustle because she wants to go to the mall and buy 50 handbags. It's very disrespectful. If she found out that I'm raising money because I want to do, the question that now begins to come in is that's where the mistrust begins to be built, because they're like, what else is she doing?
you
What
hiding?
else is this person hiding? So the table is and that's the confusion. We've seen these people talking about, hey, if it's your husband, he has to do this and whatnot. We tell people, get married. You've got money, your husband doesn't have money. You will sit and you won't eat because so it's understanding. It comes.
And
Just
that's
understand, be
finding a
open.
balance. There's
Yeah.
there's no independence. There is independence. You are two individuals, but don't bring your over independence into your marriage. No.
Yeah. Always remember why you said I do.
Okay. 5 words.
Because I know you're going to remove a syllabus, so
I think just put God first. I think He will just align it for you. Let the Holy Spirit just take control of your home,
yeah.
and you'll be okay.